Have you ever just stopped and wondered, is this it? Is there a different way to build a life? Because today, we're going to explore that very idea, a really powerful alternative path to what I'd call true freedom. It's all about making a huge shift from being a cog in someone else's machine to becoming the architect of your own.
All right, let's just jump right in. Do you ever get that feeling that you're just following a script? A script that you didn't even write? You know, like there's this pre-programmed code for life that's quietly pushing you down a super predictable and, let's be honest, kind of unfulfilling path. Let's see if this whole model sounds familiar to you.
Yeah, this script, it has a destination in mind for us. It kind of molds us into what you could call a MODEL citizen. And what does that mean? Well, it means being M, mediocre, O, obedient, D, dependent, E, entertained, and ultimately lifeless. It's a life where you're just surviving instead of thriving, following orders instead of leading, and kept just distracted enough so you don't look behind the curtain. Basically, you end up being a pawn in a game that's rigged from the start.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly illustrates the trap, because following that script is the definition of the rat race. And here's the thing, even if you win, you're still a rat. The goal itself is the whole problem. Winning by the rules of a broken game, that's not real success. So how does this whole trap actually play out in our day-to-day lives? Well, it usually starts with the way we think about our jobs. You know, probably the best way to explain this is with a simple parable. It's a story about two guys, Ed and Bill. They both get hired for the same job, bring water to a village, but their approaches were worlds apart. Okay, so look at this. The difference here is absolutely fundamental. It's all about their mindset. You've got Ed, the bucket hauler. He worked hard, for sure. He was in his business, dragging buckets back and forth all day long. But here's the catch. If Ed stops working, the money stops. Period. Then you have Bill. He worked smart. He worked on his business. Instead of hauling buckets, he spent his time building a pipeline, an asset that would eventually bring the water and the income to him, effortlessly, 24/7. And that right there, that's the big question we all need to ask ourselves. Am I building a pipeline or am I just hauling buckets? Is my income completely dependent on the hours I punch on a clock? Is my whole life basically just a trade, my time for their money? Or am I building something, a system, an asset, a pipeline that keeps generating value even when I'm sleeping? All right, let's keep going because this idea builds. See, to really commit to building a pipeline, you have to break free from another huge, widely accepted trap. And that's the myth, the very seductive myth of work-life balance. I know, that sounds pretty extreme, right? Blow it up. But here's the point he's making. The word balance has kind of become a code word for, well, for being average. It pushes this idea of staying in the comfortable, safe, unremarkable middle. And that very balance can be the thing that stops you from ever achieving something truly great. I mean, think about a teeter-totter, right? For it to be perfectly balanced, where do you put the pivot point, the fulcrum? Right in the middle. And the middle is average, by definition. It's the definition of middle of the road. So here's the real key. Great, amazing, exceptional results, the kind that build that pipeline to freedom we're talking about, they almost always come from imbalance, from a temporary period of intense, obsessive focus. You win long-term balance through short-term imbalance. That's the trade. Okay, so what on earth fuels that kind of obsessive, all-in effort? Where does that drive even come from? It's not just, a hobby or a casual interest. No way. It has to be something way deeper. It's what we'll call a monster purpose, something that pulls you forward, especially when everything is telling you to quit. And you find this purpose right at the intersection of a few things. First, what are you actually good at? Second, what do you absolutely love to do? And third, what solution can you bring to the world? When you find where those three things overlap, bam, that's your purpose. That's the fuel for your pipeline. This is it. This is the holy grail. Your purpose is your why of all whys. It's the thing that drags you through the tough times, through the criticism, through the failures. It's the engine that powers the whole machine, turning what could be a boring job into an obsession, a mission. Okay, so let's tie this all together now. Breaking free from that scripted life, it really comes down to a fundamental shift in how you think. You have to stop trading your time for money. You have to become the boss of your own time. You have to build your life by design, not by default.
Think about this number, 86,400. That's how many seconds you get gifted every single day. We all get the same amount. But the scripted path, the bucket hauling life, it has you trading 5 full days of your time just to get 2 days back for yourself. I mean, that's a terrible deal. It's a losing game. Freedom is owning all of your time.
So this is basically the pipeline builder's code. You have to reject that MODL citizen script. You have to stop hauling buckets and start building systems. You have to embrace that temporary imbalance to get amazing results. You fuel everything with that obsessive purpose, and you become the master of your clock, not a slave to it. It's a choice, a conscious one, to build systems that serve you instead of just serving a system that traps you.
So, at the end of the day, it all comes down to this one question. What are you going to build with your 86,400 seconds today? Are you going to keep hauling buckets, forever trading your precious time for money, or are you going to start laying down some pipe and build your pipeline to freedom?
If you're ready to stop being a model citizen and start acting like the boss of your own time, then I've got something that can help you get started on that journey.
So here's what you do. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button right now. And when you're done, check the description. I've put a link in there for you to get your free work-life balance ebook. Seriously, it even includes the Balance Scam Workbook to help you start digging and find your own monster purpose. All right, it is time. Time to quit hauling buckets and start building that pipeline to freedom. Go make it happen. I'll see you in the next one.